truthfully, one of the best televised matches that I can remember in years. The battle of the Lucha Bros, guys. This one, I'm gonna need you, SPD, to jump in. My jaw was on the floor. This match from start to finish was just absolutely epic. Tell me, like, as a Lucha Bros fan, you've been preaching to the now. Again, I'm an FDR fanboy, but SPD is the Dynamite Download resident Lucha Bros slappy. He's been saying over and over again, these guys are the best tag team in the world, and to see these two go head to head, you just had to be geeking out.
I have a couple things. It's going to be like a roller coaster, but yes, they are the number one tag team, in my opinion, in the world, in AEW, anything beyond that. And they put on amazing one-of-a-kind matches every single time. And for them to go head-to-head, I was a little bummed just because, not about the match or the result, anything like that, the hype. They just kind of threw it in there. It was just like, why are they fighting each other? There's no story. There's nothing. This could and should have been a main event of any pay-per-view AEW had.
If SPD was booking the card, that would be the case. Now,
it should have been a main event.
But to be fair, the Lucha Bros have been presented to this point, right, as kind of a sidekicks, right? They were sidekicks of the Death Triangle, and now they're kind of like, obviously Penta is Eddie Kingston's best friend. So he's the right-hand man of the Kingston family. But let's be fair, right? To this point, the Lucha Bros haven't really been showcased and featured on TV that much. And that's why, to me, I thought you would be just geeking out so hard because this was really, for me, a showcase of what they can do, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this was outstanding, from the high flying to the chop battle. Gosh. I've always said Penta always gives the most brutal chops, and it just makes my chest cringe from when you and I had a chop battle. I still feel that pain. So
I got some massive hands, and I can't throw a chop like Penta, that's for sure.
I mean, this to me was a 10 out of 10 match. It was by far could have been one of the match of the year. Pure wrestling wise, by far the best match of the evening. It's just, I wish there was more build. There's no reason why they're fighting, really. It's just like, I felt like the last two entrants to the tournament were just kind of just thrown in there with no like rhyme or reason. They kind of like did three at a time. Then they're like, okay, it's set. Why are these two brothers fighting? It almost would have made more sense if they were in the finals fighting or in separate brackets, then come to another round, or even
maybe
the second
a semifinal,
round,
right?
Something like that, but where they can kind of build it a little bit more. But other than that, this is, like I said, 10 out of 10, awesome match, outstanding wrestling.
You just wanted them to kind of milk it a little bit longer because of what a fanboy you are of the Lucha Bros.
For sure.
I get that. I get that 100%.
3 for 3 elite right now.
Yeah, this show is a home run show, guys. I think we're just gonna be geeking out the whole show. Zepp, what did you think? Lay it on me, man.
So Sean, I love you, but I disagree with you on this one. I think there's a storyline here, and I never would have imagined like how they were going to be able to pull it off, because I was bummed out too when they were first like lined up against each other. I was like, oh no. But you got to think of it this way. It was a tournament bracket, right? So it's randomized. You got to kind of make this assumption. It was no one's choice. There's no storyline. It's just how they got slotted, right? So if you think of it from that perspective, I was like, this kind of stinks because you got two people in the same family going against each other. All that changes when Eddie Kingston comes out and he's on commentary, because he's able to convince you that the family doesn't care. They know that the prize is the world's championship, and he's basically able to like let you know like that's how competitive this group is. They have each other's back outside the match, but they're ready to fight each other. And I also think he had a little shoot moment with Jim Ross, who gave him a little hard time there for a moment. Did you guys catch that? That was interesting.
I did.
Excalibur. It was Excalibur, right? Where
it was,
Excalibur.
JR said something like, we'll talk about, I don't know, or how did it go? It was, Kingston was like, yeah, we should focus on the match. And then match hasn't started yet. Kind of like, and then he didn't like that. And he told a story about how he like killed someone with a baseball bat.
You and I are thinking about different moments, because I was thinking about how Excalibur was like, oh man, you're gonna have to face, like, potentially if you beat John Moxley, you might have to face one of these guys. And Eddie Kingston just checked him right away. He was like, I'd rather face family than some random bitch. He basically just like put it on him. But no, I think that you make a good point, Zepp. I know that this is an elite for you too. One of the things that I'm gonna say, again, I like to watch wrestling all over, and to me, AEW is the best, the most excited I've ever been as a fan. But I know the history of Lucha, of the Lucha Bros. I know Fenix and Penta and the battles that they had in Lucha Underground, right? I know that, like, the way those two guys, and Kingston did a great job in commentary again. And this is one of the best things about this show. They featured so many people and they put them in so many great opportunities to succeed. They put Kingston at commentary. They put Taz out there cutting promos. So Kingston made sure to emphasize, hey, this is how Penta and Fenix made their names in this country. They didn't make their names in this country as a tag team. They made their names in this country fighting each other. And I think that's a really, like, and that was Kingston pointing it out in commentary, and it really is true. It's a reflection of their history. And I think that the match itself reflected how comfortable these two guys are in the ring together. I mean, both of us know what Fenix is able to pull off in the ring. We know that he does things and makes them look effortless, that really are feats that are beyond me ever imagining being able to do. But I also love that, and this is something that I think has been lost on AEW television, and I'm going to write more about it in my column, is that Pentagon is one of the most brutal strikers, one of the most focused. His offense, and this is one of the things that I really love about him, his offense is always focused and dialed in to a body part. He seems like he's strategically picking you apart and beating you down. And I love how you can tell he actually is trying to target areas of his opponent. That's one of the things I loved. And again, Sean, pointing about the brothers thing, Pentagon is really the darker of the two, right? In their history, Pentagon is the one who shows more of a bad side than Fenix. And I think that's natural. I think that the fans and the offense that Fenix has, people just want to cheer for him. But Penta, as the big brother, showed sympathy in this match. He paused at multiple moments because he didn't want to take it to that next level. And so I think that this was kind of it was a nice job of playing off of that relationship as brothers, as family. These two guys just absolutely tore the house down.
Many moves I've never seen. What was that power bomb?
The push-up power bomb flip was just unbelievable.
I need to rewatch this.
I'm going to tomorrow. I'm going to rewatch this because I was just like, I was geeking out so hard that when I was trying to write up my thing, I was just like, these guys are just freaking amazing, right? These guys are just so good together. It was really fun to watch. And that's what I love about when wrestling is fun to watch. It's something that pulls you in. This match, just based on the chemistry these two guys had and the physicality, the way, the moves that they pulled off, it would have been a great match just based off of that. But when you start to integrate and interweave the fact that they're a family, that they're brothers, that they're tied into a faction, that you got Kingston on the mic or at commentary, talking about this battle, it just all across the board was a perfect execution. I could not give AEW more praise for this match. This is by far an elite. All three of us gave this one an elite, clean sweep, and deservedly so.
Yeah. Mike,
next, go ahead.
I got something for you. How about this part too? So to your point, you said that they were Pentagon was showing sympathy for Ray, which was unusual. But to go from that moment, it's almost like Pentagon built himself up mentally to then try to break his arm by the end of it. Which is just like to show you how crazy that like family is. And then you have Kingston pumping it up the whole time. Like they'll get over it no matter what happens. And it's
that's like, blood thicker than water type of thing.
Awesome. It was a big win for me.
I mean, not to jump around, but Kingston all night was absolutely on fire. That's all I'll say about that. But we'll move on, and we'll bring him up a little bit later.
Yeah. You got me thinking about you got me thinking about my star of the night, guys, because we got that later on in the show. Yep. We're gonna all talk about our star of the night, and you got me thinking about that, Downey, because there's no doubt, SPD, that Kingston, his segments, he was interwoven in this show beautifully, and that guy knows how to deliver on the mic, does he not? Oh my God, he's just a beast.
Smooth as butter.
Three segments, right?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah. Because they showcased his promo after the show last week that he cut on Mox, right? Which was just one of those that you get goosebumps from. Mm-hmm. Then they had his rebuttal to Moxley in a segment, right? And then they had him on commentary tonight. So yeah, he was very much a focal point of the show tonight, and rightfully so.
And one of my favorite shows. So I think that goes to show you how awesome he didn't step in the ring. You know?
Well said. And for me, I was coming off of a big low last week. I was bummed out about Archer going down. I thought that that was something that they kind of missed an opportunity on that guy. But man, 1 week later, I'm that's in the rear view. And I'm looking forward to Full Gear. I can't wait till Kingston versus Moxley in that I Quit match is just gonna be must see. It's gonna be worth the money alone. The way that those guys cut promos on each other. We'll get to that later. That's